Hello, this is Vampire. In this video today, I am trying to help you make whatever it is that you do, your training, a little bit more towards street, okay, to help you get prepared towards that. In order to understand what I'm talking about, it's based off of this dynamic right here, okay? On one end of the spectrum, you have training, and then on the other end of the spectrum, we have street. And if you notice, they are connected. It is on the same line right here, okay? It's just one extreme and then the other extreme. This extreme, what we're doing here is we are training just for training's sake, training purely for training and only for training, okay? And on this spectrum, there is zero training. This is just purely doing the real thing. You are street fighting. You are on the street, okay? And this is right smack half in the middle where it's both well balanced, okay? Alright, so anyway, what I'm trying to say is most of us is probably somewhere around here or maybe even closer to over here, okay? I don't think there is anything wrong with training just for training's sake, okay? I think that is fantastic and I recommend it. I recommend people to walk down this path over here, to go this way, okay? The only thing you have to watch out about that, the catch is you have to understand that you are being very good at training and not over here. The problem is a lot of people go in this direction and they're very, very good at this, very high skill level, grandmaster, I don't care, whatever, and you spend 20, 30 years, your whole life over here, and you got some amazing skills. That doesn't mean that you're good at this, okay? It's just totally different, okay? People who train in Aikido, Systema, I think it's awesome. And I myself am a practitioner of Aikido and Russian martial arts, but it definitely is in this direct, not all of it, but generally speaking, a lot of it is in this direction, okay? Which can definitely be very, very valuable for the street, all right? But it doesn't change the fact that what you're doing right here is this, okay? One thing I also want to say is the really, really legendary people, the people that are really, really noted for being awesome, you know, street fighters or even just awesome martial artists, they were probably awesome at this and they were probably awesome at this. They were awesome at both. They actually have double experience. Okay, so we're talking about let's say guys like Morihei Ueshiba, the founder of Aikido. Okay, now that guy used to get into a lot of street fights. He's even been in war. Okay, so he's experienced this. He has a ton of experience over here, but he also went all the way to the max for this. So he's done both. Same with like guys like Miyamoto Musashi, both right here. Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to point that out. You do want both. You need both, but you know this. The problem with street fighting, and I can understand why there's a lot of importance over here, is because, you know, everyone has goals and everyone, you know, has, they want to be practical. We all want to be practical, you know, and it's very easy to misunderstand this one, you know, thinking that you're actually doing this when you're, in reality, you're doing training. And you know, we all want to be, once again, practical, all right? There's an emphasis, a very kind of a selfish emphasis on this, all right? To be, what works and what doesn't work, you know, things of that kind of nature. What style is better than the other? You know, that's all about this kind of talk over here, all right? But the problem with this, okay, one thing is like, let's say, I think Bruce Lee said something like this, where it's like, if you want to be a good swimmer, you have to swim. It's kind of like, you want to be a good street fighter, you got to be in street fights. Period. Period, okay? Problem with that is it's illegal. you're not going to last long. No matter how good you are, it's just a matter of time before you're going to lose a couple and you can get seriously, seriously hurt. Your life's going to be in danger. Your health's going to go down. There's a lot of problems with this over here, okay? And of course, the more closer you get over here, definitely, you know, the problems arise the same way until this is the absolute max. But until you get here, right up until street fighting, everything over here is essentially a simulation for a street fight. It's a complete simulation, okay? It's just how much do you want to risk, okay? So maybe like right here, it would be like sparring without any contact. Right here, full, you know, semi-contact, full contact sparring. Let's say full contact sparring with foam weapons, full contact sparring with, you know, harder weapons. Now let's say full contact sparring with actual weapons, and then we also have rough terrain, you know, maybe even some obstacles in the way. So now you see we're getting closer and closer and closer to this, all right? And of course, the risk and injuries and the testing becomes more and more severe as we head in this direction, all right? And then over here, this is training for training's sake. Ultimately, you could get to this over here and you might be doing something like just meditating, you know, for 6 hours or something like that, all right? Now, what I'm going to try to do in this video is try to help you guys have a little bit more street without going all the way here and risking your well-being, all right? That's silly, okay? We don't need to do that, all right? So one of the things you can do if you are, let's say, training in stick fighting, you watch my videos and you train in the art of Eskrima, okay, instead of being so comfortable with your nice, well-made Eskrima stick, and if you only train with that, to me, you're on this side of the spectrum, if that's all you've used, okay? I've said it many times, try different lengths, different weights, you know, try using uneven Eskrima sticks, one real long, the other one shorter, okay? Also try going to a park and just picking up a branch and then using that as an Eskrima stick. Try a machete, use double machetes, try mixing in a knife and a machete, a knife and a Eskrima stick, see what that feels like, okay? Now we're heading just a little bit closer to street and it's still relatively safe. I'm not talking about sparring with anyone, I'm just talking about you practicing the forms. You know, another thing is, let's actually hit something, all right? So go out and try actually hitting the tree, okay? Once again, now that you've actually starting to hit something instead of just do it in the air, a little bit closer to the street once again, okay? Another thing you can do is try, if you're using blades, try cutting different types of material and see which one is more difficult to cut, which one is easier to cut. That's also going to help your knowledge if you do that when you are selecting a jacket, because the type of jacket that you wear is going to have an effect on that, and it's going to help you for your defense, okay? So I personally, from my experience, know that textured jackets, all right, leather jackets and stuff is going to help, you know? Definitely, for just by looking at a jacket, I can tell this one is going to help make it difficult for them to cut me. This one, even though it looks thick, is not going to help at all. They're going to be able to cut through no problem, okay? So you want to experience stuff like that. Once again, it takes you a little bit closer over here. Cutting water bottles and stuff. Okay, that's great. Okay, I've seen a lot of those types of videos on YouTube. Now the next thing, let's cut the water bottle and let's try to avoid the water splashing onto you, because that can simulate, the way I do it is I simulate the water as blood, and I don't want to be catching blood on me, all right? So, you know, that makes the training just slightly a little bit more over here. I've seen the Filipino experts over there in the Philippines training on rough terrain, training on rocks and stuff. I remember the Black Eagle Eskrima guys training with glass bottles on the ground. Whoa, that's like way over here now, you know? So they're doing drills and set forms and stuff with a partner, you know, while blindfolded or while wearing sandals or barefoot on terrain that has broken glass. Okay, now that's like a lot more extreme. We're definitely heading towards this area, okay? So things of that nature, be creative, and you can definitely start to make your training a little bit more over here.